So in most of the movies he directed, Paulina was doing the cinematography. But before we go there, Paulina, tell us about the movie that you just made in Kenya in December last year. Tell us about that.
Lovely. Yeah. So as we mentioned before, the Cinematographer Festival. In I think October or November, there was extension for Cinematographer Italy Festival in Kenya for the first time ever. So we went there and we made this independent film called Jaboya. Jaboya is the system, which was now and in the past in Kisumu. And basically it means sex for fish. And yeah, basically we're just telling a story about the system which is presented in the fisherman society, like living near Victoria Lake. And yeah, and of course we just want to make the audience aware of this problem, and this everything is related with spreading AIDS in Kenya as well. And yeah, the plot, because it's fictional film, like lots of people are asking if it's a documentary or fiction, but it's fiction film. It's gonna be around 40 minutes. It's still in post-production, and it's gonna come out hopefully in July. We're gonna see. And the plot. So the plot of the film is about Sanapei. That's our main character. So she and her daughter, Zabadi, are moving out to Kisumu. They coming from the Maasai tribe and coming to Kisumu. There's a Luo tribe. So we're just following the story of them, of accumulation, how they adjust themselves like in the new environment of the fisherman world, or of the new roles of Jaboya, basically. So yeah, that's what we're telling the story about. And yeah, we were shooting this film like more or less 2 weeks. And that was, I guess, November, not October, as I said before. That was November last year. And I think that's the biggest project, like, of my personal ones. So that's my little baby. And yeah, I think that's
amazing, Paulina. Thank you for sharing that story with us. Now, I wanted to ask you a question about cinematography. You've been doing cinematography, for quite, an amount of time, maybe a number of years now. Tell us about your story, how you left Poland, and why are you studying in the UK now, and how did you begin your cinematography life? Maybe
okay.
that's starting point. Yes.
Okay, lovely. So actually, I'm gonna tell like from super beginning, okay? So actually, I didn't start from cinematography straight away. So when I was 12, me and my best friend Dominika, we were doing this videos, like series, like mini series from the games. And we were like coming out with the stories and everything, and we were uploading them on YouTube. And yes, that was our first experience with filmmaking, because like, of course, there was the whole plot. We were shooting, we could edit films at age of 12. We were using green screens and everything, so that sounds fun. We were doing this like for 2 years, and then we stopped because we were just too ashamed of of our stories. I remember when we were showing this to our teacher at, I think that was primary school actually still, and like me personally, I was going out of the classroom because I was just too ashamed to show my films to the teachers. Yeah, but that was like the first thing, and by this time I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do films. And then after, I had this break, very long break, and then I went to art school in Poland, in Katowice. And actually, we had the film and photography subject, but that was like more for photography. And but once we had this project from the sculpture, and they asked us. I don't remember the topic exactly, but they asked us to bring our own projects. And I brought film for sculpture, which was like interesting. Like everyone, of course, like brought some sculpture, of course, but the teacher was like really surprised, and he really enjoyed that. So my first film was about, I mean, that was like abstraction, but basically I recorded all of the noisy things, like the noise of the sea, or I had a balloon and I was just like destroying the balloon with the sharp objects, and I muted the whole soundtrack. So so basically the audience, when they were watching the film, they could like still kind of hear the sounds of it, because like, you know how the sea sounds, you know, or stuff. So even the sound was muted. It's like you were just replaying the sounds in your head. Yeah. And so my tutor, he really enjoyed that idea, and he was actually like saying me things to continue this project. But of course I didn't. And then yeah, and then I had break again. And just at the end of my art school, which was my kind of college, I could say, there was this international film festival, which is called 48 Hours. And basically, this festival is based on the rules which tells you to shoot a film in 48 hours. Basically, it's very simple. And my friend from art school, he invited me to join the crew, so I can, you know, like be as support, as assistant. And yeah, and I said yes, why not? And I went there, and I was like really surprised. Like the crew was professional. I mean, half professional, let's say. But like for me was super nice and interesting. I've never seen that before. And yeah, that's how it started. I was just at the end of my art school, and so just after, there was I had to do a choice about my uni. And yeah, I decided that I'm gonna connect my art with film, which is together it's just cinematography, and that's all of my parts which I really enjoy in it. So yeah, I decided to study cinematography, and that was in UK after I moved there. That's how it all started. Very long story.
So, Paulina, because I know you have very important things to discuss about film school. How important was your film school in helping you become the cinematographer you are today?
Okay, yeah. So first of all, like my school was really important. I mean, this could be any school from UK, that they gave me a language confidence and opportunity to meet like other people from other countries. You know, I could see like other cultures and just basically meet internationals, because like in Poland, so when I was at school, there was no one international. it's actually very different. So I was just with Polish people always and everywhere. So I think this helped me to open up more. And then to narrow this down now, the film school, of course, gave me like technical knowledge about cameras, about how to use studio properly. What is really nice about UK schools is that there's so much practice lessons. Yeah, it's so much practical work.